mentioned on Tuesday, and I'm enjoying the circle one, the 7 circles actually. That I remember this time last year that really helped me, Yvonne, with the vertigo in Costa Brava. So we'll start off with that one, and we'll do a little bit of movement, a little bit of floor work, and then a little bit of qigong. So finding your space, plenty of space around you, forwards and backwards. And take your feet about shoulder width apart, arms out to the side, shoulders down and relax. Just take it really, actually bring your feet a little bit closer together for this one, so about hip width apart. Just take it really steady. You go to the right. I'm going to go to the right as well, so it's going to look as if I'm not mirroring you, but you just go slowly to the right 7 times. Keeping tall through the spine, keeping the shoulders down. And then when you've done that, just facing forwards, if you can remember where forwards is, and just let yourself balance. So you should feel slightly off balance, slightly dizzy, but not to the point where it just feels really uncomfortable. So you know where to take this. And then we can go shoulder width apart. Let's go for a little bit of knocking. Remember to keep lifting through the spine, tall through the spine. I'm having the garden room built at the bottom this next couple of weeks, so hopefully when I'm back from Costa Brava we'll have a new space, and this space will stop leaking because I'll knock it down. Breathing gently in and out through the nose. If it feels comfortable and you want to just put a little bit more rotation in, you can just glance behind you. Again, really make sure you keep lifting through the spine, lifting through the crown, so that you're not craning the neck. It's very easy to crane the neck. Keep that upper back long. And then gradually just slowing that down into waterways. Let's go a little bit deeper in the knees when you go into waterways. I'm not on that other camera, am I? I'm looking at the different camera. Keep going into water waves. That's better. Good. Just move that bit of wood so you can't see that blocking out. It's still there, that's all right. So water waves, nice and slow. I always go a little bit lower in the knees when I'm doing this one. Remember just to keep the elbows, get that rotation through the elbows and the wrists. So it really is as if you are just running your hands through water. Get that rotation, shoulders, elbows, wrists. Still keeping tall through the spine. Still moving from the hips. The hips are leading, upper body is following. Good. And slowing down. Coming up to standing. Spinal cord breathing, but when we are going up, lengthen the back of the neck. So rather than what we usually do is extend there and look up. When we extend here, we lengthen the back of the neck. So you get that little bit of space there at the back of the neck. So we extend, we still tuck the chin as we curl under. So we're just looking a little bit more forwards there. Still getting that pelvis moving, tucking the pelvis under there. Tilting the pelvis as if you're spilling out the front of the pelvis there, but we're just creating that space, that length at the back of the neck. Opening up across the chest as well, expanding. Breathing in as we expand. Breathing out as we contract. And then we're going to, on your next in-breath, just rotate to one side and just do a couple, do a breath in and a breath out, and a breath in and a breath out down that side, and then in again and out down the center. And then repeat that to the opposite side. And then just one more breath in and out down the middle, down the center. Taking a stand. Dog wags the tail. These three-dimensional spine movements, I would say, are almost like every day. Just do these. So you're doing our rotation, our extension and flexion, and then that lateral flexion, side to side movement. So pelvis stays pretty level, parallel to the floor. And then the spine just waves on top of that. Good. Slowing that down. And then we'll have a little bit of a shake. So if you want a gentle shake, that's fine. If you want to do it a little bit more vigorous, then you can tap the heels into the floor and use the idea of having your arms and legs almost like as pumps, but also the spine. Free up the back of the neck, the base of the skull on top of the spine. Get some movement there, get some movement through the pelvis. And here you can do some cleansing and clearing. So breath in and breath in. Breath in. One more. 3 is usually good. But again, you go with what you feel you need. And remember, if we do some very active exhales, always balance that out with some slow, calm, easy, light, soft inhales. So even if you're shaking, you can just let that breath be light and soft. And then we can slow the shake down, slow it down, open up the shoulders, stand tall. And you may feel as if you want to take a nice full breath, pause the breath at the top, let that breath out, and then let the breath settle. Feeling the tingling sensations. Brilliant. Okay, let's take a spot on the floor. So just safely getting down onto your hands and knees and making sure, hopefully you can see me there. So you've got your knees underneath your hips. Watch, I'm just going to go forwards here. Watch also that when I say knees underneath the hips, they are directly underneath the hips, not out to the side. So to start off with, the knees are directly under the hips. If you have any pain in the knees, you can put some cushion there. We don't want any pain. Obviously pain, you stop doing any movement. And then we just come on to hands and knees, and you've got your hands and wrists underneath the shoulders. Just let the spine be neutral. We can do a little bit of cat-cow if you want to, a little bit as we're doing the spinal cord breathing. So you can just tuck the pelvis a little bit, just get some movement from the spine, then just lengthen the spine a little bit. It doesn't have to be a big movement, but tucking the pelvis, quite a nice one to do. And then just let the spine be in sort of like what we call a neutral position. So you get that natural shape at the base of the spine. We don't need to pull the belly in or anything too tight, but obviously there's a very subtle engagement here, but quite often we over-tense the lower belly, lower abdomen. So just let the belly soften and relax. Spine neutral. Watch your head position. Head often drops down like this when we're in this position. So keep that head, the head balanced of the neck and the spine there. It's almost like you've got a string pulling the head forwards a little bit there. So remember that sort of like idea of that long spine. We can have our thumbs facing at 2 o'clock and 8 o'clock, I think it is. So they're coming in, forefinger pointing forwards, and then just stretch out the rest of the fingers onto the ground. Stretch out the thumb, so we get a stretch through a nice stretch through the tendons of the hands. And then we're just going to do some gentle rocking forwards and backwards. So here, as you move forwards, you're putting some weight through the upper body, some stress, good stress through that upper body, helping to strengthen. And keep the spine in fairly much a neutral position. So what could be happening as you're moving back is you could be rolling the tailbone underneath. Just keep that tailbone almost like pointing up towards the sky. But again, not forcing anything, just gentle rocking forwards and backwards. And the breath should be easy. The breath should be very light and soft. If, of course, you're in any pain or any strain, or you're going overloading the body a little bit, then your breath will change. That's when we just need to take a moment, but just let that breath be soft and easy, just gently rocking forwards and backwards. Good, and then we'll take a rest. Now you can rest in this position. You can just stop the position there. You can just stop the movement there and rest in that position. Or if you want to come up onto your knees and stand a little bit taller on your knees, you can. If you want to sit back on your heels a little bit, you can do that. Just there was a nice click through my ankle. You can just take a rest sitting back. So just let the breath settle. And then when you're ready, we can get back into that same position if you're not already in that position. And we're just going to lift the right elbow off the ground. So you're just going to lift that right elbow off the ground, and then you're going to put that right hand back down. You're going to now stabilize on the right hand and lift the left elbow off the ground. So we're just going to go, it's like having a little walk with the hands. So just lifting elbow, bringing it up to the side. There's that little bit of rotation through the spine as well. Don't feel you have to lock the spine or anything. We're just stepping side to side, lifting the elbows. Again, breath should be pretty easy on that. I'm just having a quick look to see you all walking with your hands on Zoom there. It's good. It's good. Find the rhythm. Breathing easy. And if that feels comfortable, what you can do is you can lift the elbow and just lift the arm up a little bit and just reach up to the side. So we just get that little bit more rotation through the spine. You can look as well in that direction and then come back down. Again, making sure you're not forcing anything. Look and reach. Come back down. Look and reach. Breathing in and out through the nose. Notice if the breath changes, just take a little rest. Remember, we're not stretching. Don't feel we have to pull and stretch. We're just reaching side to side. Let's do one more each side. And then take a rest again. You can stay in that position. You can move back a little bit if you want to. You can go into child's pose if you want to, or come onto the knees. Just any position where you can just rest for a moment. And then we'll go back down if you're not already in that position. We're going to take the knees out and bring the heels together. So you're sort of like in a frog stance. And again, if there's any pain in the knees, if you need to put any cushioning below the knees, so just opening up the knees a little bit, bringing the forearms to the ground and the elbows a little bit further forwards than the shoulders. Make sure that the forearms are creating a number 11. That's really nice in the upper back as well. So shoulders are relaxed, and then just very gently rocking forwards and backwards. Should feel nice on the back, lengthening the back. Again, just breathing easy. Feel the shoulder blades just gliding over the rib cage. Movement in the hips, the lengthening out of the back. Good. Let's do a couple more. And then when you're ready, coming back, bringing the knees back together, coming up slowly to balance on your knees. And then we can come up to standing. One of the easy ways to come up for standing from this position is just to come forwards a little bit, bring the feet out to the side, so you can bring one foot out, Bring the other foot out, then we're in almost like that squat position, and you can just come up and stand up tall. But of course you can just get up whichever way you feel comfortable. We're all on Zoom, everybody's up, and that's good. You're all still there on Zoom, which is fantastic. Let's do a little bit of a leg swing now. We've got those hips working a little bit, opening up the hips a little bit. Oh, the mic cable got knotted up there. So balance and just swing the leg. This free leg really does just free up. Free up the ankle, let the ankle relax and soften. Tall through the spine. Couple more. Oh, fell over. Good, and then shake out. Should feel quite nice in the shoulders, in the back. Letting the breath settle. And then let's do a little bit of balance. So flying on both legs to start off with. Breathing in, breathing out. And I really want you to get that subtleness of the arms just floating. It's almost like they suspend a little bit there, and then they slowly move back down. Feel the body lifting and lengthening as you breathe in. Spine staying strong, but the body softening as you breathe out. And then we can start just by peeling the heels. So if I mirror you, shift the weight to the left, just peel that right. It's almost like you're being lifted off the ground, but not quite. And then soften. The weight shifts over to the right side. Lift from the crown. Make sure you're not lifting from the shoulders. It's very tempting to lift from the shoulders. Lift from the crown. Let the heavy arms keep the shoulders down. Keep a softness in the elbows. It's not a strain. It's nice and smooth and fluid. And if you're comfortable with that and want to challenge yourself a little bit more, you can shift the weight balance and then raise the knee of the opposite leg. Keep the spine long. Slowly down. See how smooth you can make that movement down. Ball of the foot, heel of the foot. Shift the weight. Balance. Smooth. Keep it as smooth as possible. If you have smooth movement, you'll have smooth breathing. If you have smooth breathing, you'll have smooth movement. Lift from the crown. Really see how slow you can go. Can you slow it even more? Can you slow the breath even more? Can you slow the movement even more? As you roll the ball of the foot back onto the ground. Good. I definitely think the 7 spins helps with the balance. It varies, and I'm sure you notice it can vary each morning. Let's do one more each side. Tall, connecting to the sky, connecting to the ground. Nice. taking a rest. A good one for our brain coordination. So I'm going to mirror you, push towards the right. This is always terrible when I'm trying to think, when I try and mirror and say the opposite side. So you're pushing there, keep tall through the spine, keep the shoulder down, back of the right hand towards the forehead. And then when we come to the center, you get fingers pointing towards the elbow, and then you swap sides. And then when we come back to center, you get fingers pointing towards the elbow, and we swap sides. Fingers pointing towards the elbow. Make sure you're not too narrow on the base of support. Always remember shoulder width apart on these, but otherwise we don't like this and we're balancing, trying to balance a little bit too much. So go shoulder width apart, get a nice base of support. Good, keep that spine long as well. So we're not leaning back or leaning forwards on this, spine stays long. And even though we're pushing, remember we're not straining, so you're just lengthening out, easing out. Should feel really nice. Again, through the back. If we've got any tightness in the lower back or in the hips, this is often quite nice for that as well. Let's do one more each side. And then take a rest. Yeah, just watch that base of support when we're doing any of these flow movements. So it's nice and supported. You've got about that shoulder width apart. If we're here, it's not quite the same. Obviously, when we're doing bamboo, we're bringing the base of support narrower, so that we do have we kind of feel that sort of like body balancing itself. But here, go nice and strong with a base of support. Let's do breathing in, breathing out. Again, really good for the rotation. Breathing in overhead, breathing out down the center. Breath in, breath out, breath in, breath out. Interlocking your thumbs, resting on your lower abdomen, on your lower dantian, bringing the feet together. So here you'll see we're narrowing that base of support, so you can just let your body rock and sway. Just find its balance. And then when you're ready, opening your eyes, stepping out, giving yourself a very gentle brush down. Back and belly. Bro, excellent. Hopefully that's woken us all up, and I will see you. Have a good weekend, have a good rest of the day. We'll be back on Tuesday for some more focus on the breath work. Have a good day. Take care.
Bye everyone.
Thank you. Bye.